Did you know that there are 2,900 floating homes in Amsterdam?
And they could be the answer to the Netherlands' war against the sea.
In the heart of one of the world's most iconic cities lies a colorful array of floating homes.
Different sizes, colors, and designs.
Where luxury and charm meet the tranquility of water.
Amsterdam is a city built on water.
Its 165 canals are world famous, and they're made even more iconic with its most charming feature, the Houseboats of Amsterdam. Living in a space that wasn't intended for living is a form of freedom. Houseboats have been a part of Amsterdam's history for over 100 years. In the old days, houseboats were originally used as cargo boats or barges to transport goods. And after the Second World War, there was a shortage of housing in Amsterdam. A solution was to build houses on old cargo boats. And in the 60s and 70s, houseboat living became increasingly popular amongst alternative communities, artists, and other bohemian types. Boat people are, I think, a special breed of people. There are all sorts of subbreeds. You've got the real old boat people, with brown clothes, rotting teeth, and dirty hands. In the old days, living on a houseboat was for the poor. Today, living on a houseboat is hip, trendy, cool. It's now a yuppie market. You need a good job, otherwise you can't afford it. There are over 10,000 houseboats in the Netherlands, with a quarter of them located in Amsterdam. And they're no longer for the poor.
Depending on the location and size, typical houseboats today can cost anywhere between 500,000 and more than €1,000,000.
Actually, I'm incredibly wealthy. Look around you. You can't fit all of this in a rucksack. It's too much to drag around with you. And I don't need to either. Even in your own city, you can still discover so much as a traveler. Houseboats are now a popular choice for people who want a unique living experience. They can be found all over the city, from the busy canals of the city center to the quieter waters of the suburbs. All boats on the canals carry a permit to permanently dock and are connected to the city's water, electricity, and sewage systems. And many people are surprised by how much space there is inside a houseboat, and how homey it can feel. Boat children are different. They know more about water, they know more about water animals, they know more about the sky, for they can see all of that in the calm. In the city, you see houses everywhere. On the one hand, there is the life outside, the flood of tourists, the tour and boom boats with their colorful bustle and the trouble they cause. On the other hand, there's life inside the boat. Swans that peck at the window in the morning, no neighbors, and the feeling of security. In the belly of the ship, time seems to stay still. And houseboats are becoming even more popular amongst tourists who want to experience living on the waters in one of the most iconic cities in the world. But living on the water is not all sunshine, especially living in a very central location. I always say you live in a boat with your ears and nose. I notice every sound. I hear when the tourists from the bed and breakfast next door turn on the water in the deckhouse. We brace ourselves every year for it, King's and Queen's Day. It's been a bit quieter here in recent years, but it wasn't unusual earlier to see men standing here in a row pissing into the canal. My mother was inside eating her orange cake once, and suddenly she found herself looking at a row of willies. Additionally, houseboats require a lot of maintenance. My motto, if you live in a ship, you should do as much as possible yourself rather than getting other people to handle things. There's so much installed on board that you can't just call in somebody from the outside for every little trifle. The summer brings in humidity and some new neighbors, the mosquitoes. And when winter is here, well, the water pipes could freeze. In summer, you live like a prince, and in winter, like a rat. What is the future of floating homes in Amsterdam? Well, if you didn't know, Amsterdam currently lies 2 meters 7 feet below sea level, and the sea levels are rising faster than ever before. The question is not if the Netherlands will disappear below sea level, but when. Perhaps those Bohemians knew something back in the 60s and 70s. But hey, this is nothing new for the Dutch. They've been waging war against the sea to reclaim land for many, many years now. But this seems to be a new kind of war. And perhaps, by the year 2900, instead of fighting against the sea, the Dutch may learn to live with it.